From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And it's 5 o'clock here on your Wednesday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. Here's what's making headlines on this September 2nd. Cleaning and disinfecting has become the top priority for schools across the country. This morning, a look at how one local company is keeping Hoosier schools safe and sanitized.
IPS entering its third week of remote learning. Working for you, how the district is helping parents navigate the waters of at-home learning with multiple children.
And we are just over 2 months until the election. This morning, the push to make voter participation more diverse and inclusive. Thank you so much for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning.
Yeah, Nicole, it's great to have you here. And Todd, we want to get a check of our forecast for today. Yesterday was so muggy out there. You told me it was going to be at the noon show. You said you're going to step outside and it's going to feel pretty muggy out there. It did all afternoon. But what can we expect this morning?
You know, the humidity is still up there here this morning, Lauren, and it's going to be with us throughout the entire day. In fact, the humidity is with us really until Thursday, and that's when the front's going to go through, and it's going to set us up for, though, a beautiful Labor Day weekend forecast. Outside right now, as you look from downtown to the north, you can see the low overcast clouds still kind of lingering around and hanging, but there's not much in the way of rainfall out there right now. Temperatures with mostly cloudy skies are in the low 70s, and they're pretty uniform out there. 72 in Indy, Bloomington at 73 degrees. And here's radar. The heaviest of the shower activity, if you want to call it that, is moving towards the Greensburg area right now. Otherwise, it's just a hit or miss shower that's currently out there, more sprinkle than anything. And as we expand out, there's not a whole lot off to our west. So do not think of today as a very wet day. It's definitely just going to be a mostly cloudy and muggy day for us, with just the chance of a spot shower storm as we get into the peak heating of the day. The best chance of that spot shower storm closer to the front that is lingering across the southern portion of the state. High temperatures today back up into the low 80s. We'll show you the cooler temperatures that are heading our way for Labor Day coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And let's take a look at some wet roads right now for your commute. This is on the north side of town. Our INDOT traffic camera here at I-465 in Michigan Road. You can see the water on the interstate and on our camera lens here. Just use caution as you're heading out there. Traffic is traveling up to speed both eastbound and westbound here on I-465. So cleaning and disinfecting, it's become a top priority for schools all across the country, and several schools right here in central Indiana have turned to the experts when it comes to creating that safe environment for our students.
Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning. And of course, not only is COVID-19 a major concern for schools who have brought students back for in-person learning, but also it's about to be flu season, which means cleanliness is top of mind for several reasons. And I spoke with the business owner of Stratus Building Solutions. It's a company in charge of cleaning more than 20 private and public schools in central Indiana. They use specific techniques and tools like an electrostatic sprayer, which positively charges the chemicals, helping them evenly disperse across surfaces and stick. Owner Lee Putman says their business has been unpredictable, as some businesses they usually clean have not reopened offices. However, people have become more concerned about the cleanliness of their facilities, so more stringent processes are now in place for all of their customers.
Pre-COVID, we might disinfect touch points. So high touch points in your facilities are doorknobs, door handles, bathroom fixtures, desktops, things that you touch on a frequent basis. Those typically, in a normal clean plan, might have been a once a week type of a process. They're daily today. And sometimes in some facilities, they're multiple times per day.
In addition to schools, Putnam's crews are also cleaning more than 400 business facilities across central Indiana. And something they have implemented as a business is some of those schools, they're leaving 1 to 4 people of their crew members at the schools throughout the day so that they can continue to go over those high touch point services that Putnam was talking about. Things like door handles and desktops, they're continuing to clean those throughout the day. Reporting live, I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
Alyssa, thank you. The Fishers Health Department has downgraded its COVID-19 community risk level from significant to moderate, and that could mean students will soon be returning to schools. Mayor Scott Fadness tweeted a message to Fishers residents saying, quote, "Thanks for your hard work in controlling the spread of COVID-19. Our numbers have improved. We now have the opportunity for kids to attend school. Keep up the great work." But despite that tweet, Hamilton Southeastern Schools says it is not making any changes to its current plans for students just yet. Right now, all students are learning virtually, and pre-K to 4th graders will switch to hybrid learning on September 8th. Students in grades 5 through 12 are set to remain 100% virtual. This has sparked protests from some parents who want their kids back in school. A change in plans would require school board approval. The board is set to hold a special meeting tonight at 6 o'clock.
As Indianapolis Public Schools enters a third week of remote learning, that district is planning another Parent Institute. The goal is to help those with multiple learners at the home. The virtual training session will be held tomorrow via Zoom. An all English session will begin at 5 p.m. and an all Spanish session will begin at 6 p.m. Families will learn more about how each of the online learning platforms works, and they'll also get tips on how to best organize the school day for students. We have more information, including how you can register online. Just visit WRTV.com.
The U.S. Agricultural Department is extending its free meal program. Schools can now provide meals to students through the end of the year or until funding runs out. All students are eligible regardless of income and whether they learn in person or virtually. Previously, the USDA said schools would not be allowed to serve free meals to students once the school year resumed in fall, which sparked backlash. It's estimated that around 30 million children benefit from the school meals each day.
It is 5:06, and Apple and Google have updated their contact tracing system. It's called Exposure Notification Express, and here's how it works. Using Bluetooth, the app records when 2 or more smartphones come within a certain distance of each other. So if a person with the app ends up getting COVID-19, anyone else they came in contact with will get a notification that they may have been exposed. The new version means that health agencies won't need to build a contact tracing app of their own. Public health officials in Maryland, Nevada, Virginia, and Washington, D.C., they will all be the first to use this new app.
2 months now until the general election, and an organization is focused on creating a more diverse and inclusive voter turnout by educating, empowering, and letting Hoosiers know their vote matters. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the details. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So Count Us Indiana is a nonpartisan group that's helping everyone by helping them register or helping them with the voting process just to make sure it's easier for everyone. The group is based out of Fort Wayne, and every Tuesday from now until the general election, they're partnering with the Indianapolis Public Library, holding virtual forums where they'll discuss a range of topics related to voting.
If people need resources to get their ID, if you can't afford printing or getting your official paperwork, any pro bono legal services, please feel free to reach out to us.
So if you are someone who is struggling right now to get registered to vote or not sure how this process works, feel free to reach out to them so they can help you in the best way possible so you can cast your ballot on November 3rd. And for more information on Count Us Indiana, head over to WRTV.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
All right, thank you there, Kelsey. As you walk out the door this morning, you notice behind Kelsey there, it looks a little hazy. That's not so much fog, but just kind of the humidity and the mugginess that we have out there. And there are a few showers that we've been dealing with off and on here throughout the overnight hours into your early morning. And as you take a look, you can see on WRTV radar that there's not a whole lot out there right now. Yeah, the ground's going to be wet from the heavier showers that moved through about an hour ago. But as far as additional rainfall, it's more sprinkles and just a quick passing shower more than anything. So I don't really think it's going to hamper your morning commute if you have to do so. If you're heading into work, 72 degrees this morning, basically just some cloudy skies. And as you head home from work, we're looking at a temperature of 80. So we don't really warm up a whole lot throughout the day today, but it's going to be another very muggy day. So that 80 is going to feel a little bit warmer than that. And that stray shower, if you see one this afternoon as well, is going to be very, very light. So overall, it's just kind of a cloudy, muggy day for us. We'll look ahead to the rest of the week for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. A security guard is facing a murder charge for the death of a woman on the northeast side. After the break, what prosecutors say led to the charge.
Some famous D.C. monuments could be renamed or relocated. Just after the break, why the plan is receiving backlash from the White House. And let's take a look at traffic right now down at the North Split from our tower camera here. And you can see everything is moving along up to speed. As I was heading into work this morning, we did have a semi that was being towed at the North Split. As you're heading towards Meridian in Pennsylvania, some flares out there blocking lane of traffic, but it looks like that has been moved. Everything is traveling smoothly. We'll be back with more news and weather just after the break.
Welcome back. It is 5:12. A security guard is now facing a murder charge after the shooting and killing of a woman on the city's northeast side. Court documents say Melvin Hall shot Natasia Williams 3 times on Friday in the 4100 block of Brentwood Drive. A witness says Williams was armed but never pointed her weapon at Hall. The witness also says Hall never gave any warnings before firing his gun. The Marion County prosecutor says witness statements and an autopsy allowed his office to file the murder charge.
It's the autopsy evidence, which told us how that body or how that bullet ultimately entered the victim's body and the path and trajectory that it took. That provided greater context, the witness statements that occurred, and really helped us zero in on what was the actual sequence of events.
At this point, no hearing date has been set on Hall's case. Now to Wisconsin, where President Trump is pledging to help Kenosha rebuild after more than a week of unrest.
Businesses there were burned, vandalized, looted after protests sparked by the police shooting of Jacob Blake turned violent. Nadia Romero is on the ground in Kenosha with the latest.
I'm committed to helping Kenosha rebuild.
President Trump pledging to give $1 million to Kenosha law enforcement and vowing during his visit to Kenosha, Wisconsin Tuesday to help rebuild businesses destroyed during the protests there.
I'm also providing nearly $4 million to support these small businesses that I talked about today that got burned up, burned down. And we're going to be providing over $42 million to support public safety statewide.
Despite pleas from the governor and local officials to visit at a later time, the president came and his visit was met with opposition. Protesters on both sides clashing on the streets. Jacob Blake's friends and family slammed the president's visit as a campaign stunt.
It is the same reason he visits Portland. He is here to sow chaos and fear.
Jacob Blake should have been the primary purpose and the primary focus. That is what's causing this country to be in an uproar.
President Trump did not meet with Jacob Blake nor his family during his visit, saying the family wanted lawyers involved.
I didn't get to speak to the mother. I hear she's a fine woman. I've heard that from the pastor.
In Kenosha, Wisconsin, I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
Washington, D.C. is looking to make some changes to its monuments, and it's getting backlash from the White House. A task force there is working to rename, relocate, or add context to monuments that represent namesakes of slavery or racial oppression. Some nationally well-known ones are on this list. That includes the Washington Monument and the Jefferson Memorial. The White House press secretary has shamed the city's mayor for creating the task force. The White House says it also will deny the changes to the monuments that stand on federal land.
Members of Indiana Task Force 1 are expected to return home today. The unit spent 1 week deployed in the Gulf Coast helping with Hurricane Laura relief and rescue efforts. The task force posted several pictures on social media showing some of the damage and destruction in Louisiana. Laura made landfall Thursday as the strongest hurricane to hit the state since 1856. It is 5:16. Let's get another check of your forecast now with Todd.
And it's pretty quiet here this morning, Nicole, across central Indiana as we go throughout the day. Yes, you'll hear the mention of some showers in the forecast. You may pull up the app on your phone and it may show quite a bit of rainfall on that, but we're not going to see a lot of rain today. You don't have to think of today as a day that's going to be a washout or one that you really need to carry the umbrella around throughout the entire day, as we're really just going to be dealing with a stray shower or two as we work our way throughout the morning hours. Yes, you may have to throw your windshield wiper on in spots today across parts of the area, but it will never be on for a prolonged period of time. It's cloudy and muggy this afternoon, and then this evening again the chance of a spot shower or rumble of thunder with those warm and muggy conditions. Now, while there's not a whole lot of rain, which I'll show you on radar in just a second, this view shows the picture here, and you can see the clouds moving through pretty quickly. There's definitely low hanging clouds across most of the area, and that's part of the reason why we're dealing with such muggy conditions. As far as the satellite radar picture goes, you can see the heaviest shower is just now making its way through the Greensburg area in Decatur County, but that's the heaviest one that we have out there across the entire area. We'll slide to the north, and there's just a few spotty showers moving through Pendleton, southern Madison County, northern portions of Hancock County there just north of Greenfield, a light shower, and that's really just about it. And I'll expand out, and what's going on is there's a stalled front that is just down to our south. It was a cold front, but it's going to turn into a station stationary front. And it's along this front that there'll be the best opportunity to pick up some scattered showers and thunderstorms, not only today, but tomorrow as well. So the further south you live, the better potential of just a quick passing shower. Northern locations, it's maybe a sprinkle or two, and that should be just about it as we get into the afternoon hours, as that front kind of just fires up some isolated little storms here and there across parts of the area. So definitely not a washout of a day, but it is a day that we do have some minor rain chances in the forecast. The temperature is going to hold pretty steady throughout the morning hours. Once we get to the afternoon, very similar to yesterday, about 82 degrees with that mugginess that'll be out there throughout the entire day. Then overnight tonight, scattered storm or two down to 71 degrees, but tonight is probably the last night of the real muggy conditions across the area. Tomorrow, 83 degrees, but tomorrow the front is going to come through. And once that front comes through, it's going to usher in a great weather for Labor Day weekend. Saturday morning, we start in the 50s, but it's a sunny day, 83 on Sunday, and then Labor Day itself on Monday. We are looking at cooler temperatures and just the chance of a spot storm in the forecast. The big change in this forecast will come at the middle of next week, as it does look like we get into a pretty prolonged period of some very cool temperatures, about 74 on Tuesday. And then some areas as we get into Wednesday of next week may only see high temperatures that'll be topping off in the 60s.
All right, Todd, I like the little station wagon there for Labor Day. Very creative. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is I-65 and I-465 down on the south side. Here's a look at your commute. Everything's traveling up to speed. We do have that flashing light off there in the distance. Looks like maybe a little bit of road maintenance going on. Nothing to slow you down, though, so that is good news. So let's take a turn up to the northwest side where we do have those wet roads out there this morning. This is I-465. A look here at West 71st Street. Traffic is moving along up to speed. No major issues to slow you down. So Nike has launched its first activewear line for new and expectant mothers. The collection is called Nike M. Nike says the products in the line are designed to meet the changing needs of women's bodies before, during, and after pregnancy. They include tights with a foldable wide waistband, a scoop neck tank top that makes it comfortable for women to nurse, a bra that can be adjusted for breastfeeding or pumping, and a cover-up with a split opening that can be worn to accommodate a growing belly or a nursing cover. The new items will be available online starting September 17th. Very cool.
Very cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, make them say yum. A rapper and businessman Master P has rolled out a new line of food products. The New Orleans native says his brand is an alternative to other products that use Black names and imagery, but don't often give back to Black communities. His new line of Uncle P's Louisiana seasoned food products includes rice, beans, grits, pancake mix, syrup, and oatmeal. A portion of the proceeds will be used to create job opportunities in Black communities, assist the elderly, and educate inner city kids. The products are now available in grocery stores nationwide.
Well, the Colts are ready to embark on a season unlike any before. Just after the break, we'll take a closer look at the team as they get amped up for some real action. It is 5:21. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is 5:24. The Colts are set to kick off the season in less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, while training camp has been much different this summer, the team tells our Brad Brown getting ready for the first game feels familiar.
As the calendar turns to September, the energy around the Colts starts to feel less like training camp and more like game time.
I give our players a lot of credit, with everything we've been through, going through the pandemic and still going through that, with all the social unrest that we've had and all that's meant and means to us and is ongoing and our battle and fight there.
Last week, the team took a day away from the field to continue discussions about racial injustice and social impact, standing together as one to make a bold statement. That unity will likely pay off on the field going forward.
I've gotten to really, that term goes, I want to go to war with my brothers. I want to go to war with my brothers, but actually taking that word and actually diving into what being somebody's brother means and how can we help our brother? How can we understand our brother?
On Saturday, the team held a second workout at Lucas Oil Stadium. Without any preseason games on the schedule, it was their only real chance to go through the game day routine. And a little offense versus defense scrimmage helped amp up the whole crew.
I thought with the lack of the preseason games that this was the best way to get it done. I think, Frank and the staff with the decision to come over here twice. Now we have have one more kind of probably similar to a training camp week, and then it'll be game week. So it'll be here before we know it. From the defense, a lot of confidence, a lot of conviction in this group, and just consistency. I think the defense has played well all camp, from the linebackers to the defensive backs, especially with our D-line. Just a fast, physical group and very confident group.
A couple of months ago, the entire season was an unknown. Now, with week 1 just a dozen days away, let the real routine begin.
You know, when you're a player in that mode, you're just in the mode of tell me what to do and get me to the game. I want to play football. And so the players will handle it right. You know, we'll set everything up to make it as easy as we can for the players and make it as seamless as we can, you know, get them focused on the game. And then, you know, we just follow the protocols that we're given.
With the Colts, Brad Brown, WRTV Sports.
All right. Thank you there, Brad. Looking forward to seeing the boys in blue out on the field here in just a couple of weeks. Outside right now, it's a gray picture for you. When the sun comes up, there's just going to be lots of clouds out there, and throughout the morning hours, we're going to deal with cloudy skies, maybe a stray shower here or there, but if you did see that shower, it's going to be very, very light. But with the clouds in place, you notice the temperature spread throughout the morning hours. We really don't see that big push of temperatures warming here throughout the morning, only going from about 72 to 77 by the noon hour. We should thin the clouds for some filtered sunshine here this afternoon, and that's going to help to get the temperatures into the low 80s. And also this afternoon, as we get into that sunshine, could be a stray shower or storm, but nothing widespread today. As we go into the weekend, great weather. We'll talk more about that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 5:30, keeping schools sanitized is even more essential during the pandemic, putting cleaners in high demand. Our Alyssa Donovan shows us how one cleaning company is keeping students and staff safe.
And the general election is only 2 months away, and the deadline is nearing to register to vote. Working for You will show you a resource ready to help you get what you need so you can cast your ballot. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Nicole Griffin in for Raphael this morning.
Nicole, it is great to have you in studio with me today. Todd, we miss you here, but we know you're working hard there at home. What can we expect in the forecast today?
You know, as you walk out the door, you're walking out to some humidity. It's kind of a damp feel. We've had some showers overnight, and you may get the idea that today is going to kind of be a very wet day for us. Not the case. It's going to be a very muggy day for all of us throughout the entire day, but we're only really talking about a few light rain showers from time to time here across the area throughout the entire day. I think the bulk of the more widespread shower activity has happened overnight, and as you see on radar, is now pushing off towards the east. But there's still a few hit or miss light showers out there, and there's this one lone, what we'll call more widespread or lighter shower moving through the Greensburg area right now. That's going to be pushing off towards the east pretty quickly, and then there's a few spot showers here from Newcastle, just north of Greenfield, back towards the Pendleton area, and that's just about it. And off to our west, there's not a whole lot. As we go throughout the day, yes, there could be a quick passing sprinkle. If you have a tea time or you have something else planned outdoors, do not cancel it. It's nothing that's going to drive you off the course or hamper those plans. It should be light and just very quick moving through. 60s and 70s right now. It's a very muggy morning, and as we work our way throughout the morning hours, we'll keep the temperatures in the 70s. We'll eventually get up into the low 80s. More on the rest of today and a look ahead to the rest of the week for you coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. Good morning to you up in Hamilton County. This is I-69 and State Road 37. You can see the construction cones out there on the roads this morning and the wet roads we're dealing with this morning. So just use caution as you're traveling through this area and hopping on the interstate. Looks like everything is still traveling up to speed, both northbound and southbound. So no problems here to slow you down. Let's take a look north of the downtown area. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-65. A view here at 30th Street where things are still pretty quiet this morning. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout your Wednesday and keep you updated on any issues. It is 5:33. Cleaning, disinfecting, sanitizing, they are top priorities for school administrations all across central Indiana for the districts who have welcomed students back for in-person learning.
And during a pandemic, many schools are opting to put cleanliness in the hands of experts. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning. I spoke with a company who's using specialized tools and tactics to ensure that all of the businesses and schools that his company are cleaning are especially safe during this time. Now, Stratus Building Solutions manages more than 20 schools across Indiana. They're to ensure classrooms and hallways are safe for students. The company has added additional cleaning protocols. Instead of cleaning schools once a week like they normally would in the past, they clean schools daily using specialized tools like an electrostatic sprayer.
So what it does is it puts a positive charge to the chemical, so when you spray a surface, it actually evenly disperses the disinfectant across that surface, and it can actually kind of 360 around it as well, because it attaches, I guess, magnetically to the surface.
The company also has several crew members who stay behind after cleaning, walking around the school all day cleaning some of those high touch point spots like door handles and desktops. And the owner tells me he knows that people are putting a lot more emphasis on cleanliness during this time, which is why he's happy to update and change protocols as his customers see needed. And he's very happy that he's involved in helping clean schools, both private and public, during this time, helping keep students safe as they return to classrooms. Reporting live, I'm Alyssa Donovan, WRTV.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's stay on that topic of safety in our schools. Today, the Indiana state health officials are set to release a county-by-county rating system to help decide whether to keep students in the classroom. The color-coded system will assign scores to counties based on the number of new COVID-19 infections and local positivity rates. This comes as districts and teachers across the state have asked for more specific guidelines during the pandemic. We expect to learn more about this new system later today.
New data is showing fewer new COVID-19 cases in Indiana, but an uptick in new deaths. Here's a look at the latest numbers now. State health officials report 721 new coronavirus cases. Since the pandemic began, nearly 95,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. Health officials also confirmed 16 more people have died with COVID-19. Since March, nearly 3,100 Hoosiers have died with coronavirus. Let's dig deeper now into the coronavirus deaths over the past 2 months. In July, 287 Hoosiers with coronavirus died, and last month that number increased to 309. Recent coronavirus deaths in Indiana remained far below the level seen earlier in the outbreak, when more than 1,000 people died in April.
It is 5:36. Landmarks and once bustling buildings across Indiana and across the country, you can see here shining a bright red light last night. The Red Alert Initiative highlights the devastating impact the pandemic is having on the live event industry. Many venues cannot operate due to capacity limits and other COVID restrictions. Local organizer Robert Williams says this situation is leaving many business owners, workers, and entertainers feeling hopeless.
Indiana, we've got over 40 venues in Indianapolis, Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, South Bend. The event is to raise awareness to the fact that there's 10 to 12 million event workers in the United States, and most of those are out of work and will be out of work until events can return.
Organizers of the nationwide alert are calling on Congress to pass legislation to provide financial support to the event industry. Last week, Indianapolis announced funding grants for 17 live music venues across our city.
A different struggling industry is getting some help statewide. More than 1,000 child care providers in Indiana received funding from the Come Back Stronger Fund. That includes East 10th United Methodist Church and Youth Center. The center serves families on the near east side of Indianapolis. It closed at the beginning of the pandemic and reopened in June. Added safety precautions led to added expenses, and the grant money is helping cover those costs. The executive director says keeping the center's doors open is about serving parents and the community.
We have a lot of families that have essential jobs that are out there, home health care. Those never ended. You know, if you're a manager at a gas station, you need to be there, you know. So we just really needed to open up for the families and also for the children to get them back into the swing of things.
Early Learning Indiana awarded around $13 million total to child care providers across the state.
It is 5:38. We are 2 months away from the general election, and an organization is focused on creating a more diverse and inclusive voter turnout by educating, empowering, and letting Hoosiers know that their vote matters. WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the details. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So Count Us Indiana is a nonpartisan group that's working to help everyone register to vote and hopefully making that voting process a little bit easier come November. So the group is based out of Fort Wayne, and they can help people get resources they need, like getting their ID, printing necessary paperwork, and pro bono legal services. Every Tuesday from now until the general election, they're partnering with the Indianapolis Public Library, holding virtual forums where they'll discuss a range of topics related to voting.
Really wanted to have, groups that targeted minorities like women, Black, LGBT, but a lot of groups weren't around or weren't really able to respond.
So if you're having trouble registering to vote, it's worth reaching out to them for help so you can vote on November 3rd. So for more information on how to get in touch with Count Us Indiana, head over to WRTV.com. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. And this morning, the ACLU of Indiana wants those who have spent time in jail to know that they can vote. The Hoosier State is one of 16 states where people who have been previously incarcerated can vote. In Indiana, voters only lose their voting rights while they're in jail, and rights are returned immediately upon release. In Marion County alone, 35,000 voters have been released from jail or prison in the last 10 years.
There are ongoing concerns about having enough poll workers this year as the pandemic continues, and to help, Old Navy is paying their workers to sign up. The company announced they would pay them for an 8-hour shift, and on top of that, employees would also get money from the County Election Commission. With their initiative, that could provide more than 50,000 Old Navy workers to help with Election Day. It is 5:40. Let's check in back with Todd now. Todd, a little rainy as we walk out the door on this Wednesday.
Yeah, we had some decent rainfall throughout the overnight hours, and that's kind of coming to an end here, Nicole, which is good news as you walk out the door. But as you walk out the door, it's still very muggy, still has that damp feel. I just poked my head outside my front door to kind of get a picture for you. And it's not the most comfortable morning for us, but going forward throughout the day, don't think of today as a day that's going to be really wet. We're just looking at some very spotty light showers off and on throughout the course of the day today. So the rainfall coverage is not going to be all that great, and you can see that on radar right now. The bulk of the heavier and steadier rain is from Cincinnati to Louisville right now, and that's going to be passing off to our east. So as the kids head off to school, if they are not doing the e-learning from home, 72 degrees. Yesterday we had all that dense fog and some school delays. Shouldn't be the case here this morning, and then just that chance of a spot shower or storm as the kids come home. Temperatures today right around 80 degrees, which is fairly seasonable, but today will be a very muggy day from start to finish.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. So Indigo's Red Line has officially been operating for a year now. Coming up, we're taking a look at what's worked and what hasn't, and what's next for the bus service.
And some parents are raising concerns about the safety of virtual meetings for e-learning, why they are worried about requiring cameras and potential violation of privacy.
Now let's take a live look at traffic right now. This is out in Hendricks County, I-70 here at County Road 525 East, where traffic is traveling up to speed both eastbound and westbound. No issues to slow you down. Stick around. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up for you just after the break.
Welcome back. It is 5:45. The investigation into a deadly shooting on the city's northeast side continues this morning. The shooting happened on Priscilla Avenue near 30th and Arlington around 10:30 last night. Police say a man was shot and taken to the hospital where he later died. At this hour, Metro Police have not released what led up to the gunfire. Investigators are also working to learn how a 2-year-old in Speedway was able to get out of his apartment and into a retention pond where he drowned. The boy was pulled from the water at Eagle Creek Court Apartments near 21st and Cunningham Road around 6 o'clock Tuesday evening. He was pronounced dead at Riley Hospital for Children. Officials say the boy's mother had been searching for her son. Investigators say the boy was in the water for about 20 minutes before he was found.
It is 5:46. It has been 1 year since buses on Indigo's Red Line started connecting drivers from the University of Indianapolis to Broad Ripple. The first transit overhaul in decades, and new technology brought a lot of challenges to the system. You may remember WRTV Investigates uncovered charging problems with the Red Line's electric buses before the launch. Indigo President Inez Evans also points to problems with rubber medians and traffic ballards, and also fare collection problems.
We took on new bus technology, the TVM machines where you get your fares, that was new. Signal preemption, that was new for us. All of these things laid on top. Nothing worked exactly as it was supposed to on day one, and some things we're still working through.
Evans says after a drop in ridership following the cold winter and this ongoing pandemic, the number of riders is once again increasing. Leaders say they're now looking forward to the purple and blue lines. This morning, you can find out how Indigo is already hiring for the services by downloading the WRTV app.
After dealing with a shortage at the height of the pandemic, the U.S. is now maxed out on ventilators. The Department of Health and Human Services is now canceling some of its remaining orders. There are 120,000 ventilators ready to be used if state and local health officials need them. As an added bonus, the canceled orders will also save taxpayers money. The HHS hasn't released an exact figure.
So as students learn remotely in some capacity, some are voicing concerns about the cameras. Experts say it's not just hacking that could be an issue, but there's other things that could be harmful as well. Privacy researcher Bill Fitzgerald says that anyone is accessing the clip has the capability to record the whole session. It could be used to make fun of a struggling student or involve privacy issues as the camera shows up inside people's homes.
If people were told that as a prerequisite of their legally required public education, they had to allow people into their home at any point, that wouldn't stand. And requiring a student to put their camera on is somewhat equivalent to allowing somebody into your home.
Well, Fitzgerald says there are some good ways to still use this technology in class, like video for sharing chunks of lessons, while using live cameras more as a way to build relationships. He also suggests listening to what the teachers say they need, providing them additional support whenever possible. Here at 5:48, let's toss things over to Todd for a look at our Wednesday forecast. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Lauren, good morning to you. Here we are in the middle of the week, looking ahead to a holiday weekend, and I really think you're going to like the weather once we get to Friday and then into the weekend. Still a little unsettled, though, today and tomorrow, as a front's just kind of lingering across the area. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a lot in the way of rainfall for us here the next couple days, but there will be some shower chances in our forecast. Outside right now, as you look to the north, you can see the low overcast skies, but we don't have that patchy, dense fog like we had yesterday. That's the good news. 72 degrees is the current temperature in Indy, and everywhere you go across the area, temperatures are within a couple degrees of each other. 73 in Bloomington, 68 is the current temperature up in Peru. And on WRTV radar, you can see there's just a few spot showers that are lingering across the area. The most substantial rain that we are going to see throughout the day today has already happened. It was late last night and then into the early morning hours, and as we push here closer to the 6 o'clock hour, this is really, that's all that's left of the Oakland, the shower activity from Newcastle to Richmond down towards Shelbyville. The rain now has moved out of Columbus as well as the Greensburg area, and the heaviest of the rain by far is passing through Kentucky, and you can see the broken line of showers now that really stretches all the way from Vermont and New Hampshire through Ohio, through parts of Kentucky down towards Dallas, and it's within this circle that I've drawn here that lies a stationary front, and that's going to be the trigger mechanism for the bulk of the shower activity today and tomorrow. So the further south you are, the better chances you'll have of seeing some spotty showers today, but even in northern locations, can't rule one out for you this afternoon. Anything you do see, though, is going to be very spotty. It's not going to linger very long, and then it'll move through the area fairly quickly. And by Wednesday evening, temperatures are already going to be starting to cool off a little bit, which will be good news. But for today, it's warm. It's going to be muggy. High temperatures very similar to yesterday, right around 80 degrees with that chance of the spot shower or thunderstorm throughout the afternoon hours. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, the bulk of the day is going to be dry with partly to mostly cloudy skies. The best chance of sunshine will be in the afternoon hours, but a front is going to come through tomorrow evening, and you notice it's just a broken line of some light showers. It'll probably just be like a quick burst of some rain and a little bit of cloud cover, but that's the cold front that's going to move through. That is going to usher in a really, really nice stretch of weather for us starting Thursday evening, and then for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Start making those holiday plans now. It's going to be beautiful with lots of sunshine. Morning lows in the 50s, highs in the 70s and 80s. Labor Day itself, some spotty storms arrive, and then as we get into next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday, some pretty cool temperatures. We're going below normal with highs in the upper 60s to low 70s with the potential, depending how things play out, of some rain showers during the day on Tuesday and into Wednesday as well.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Wednesday morning. This is our INDOT traffic camera at I-74 and Acton Road. This is to our southeast. Traffic here is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound along Interstate 74. No problems to slow you down. I'm also not tracking any crashes around the metro area, so that's great news if you're heading out on the roads at this early hour. Nicole?
Lauren, if you need directions, you could get them from Batman. The Waze app for GPS is making the superhero a voice option in celebration of Batman Day on September 19th. You can also choose the Riddler for your next adventure. Waze and DC Comics brought back Kevin Conroy for Batman and Wally Wingert for the Riddler. The app is also letting you add the Batmobile or Riddler's Racer in place of your usual car icon. The feature is only available for a limited time and it ends on October 31st. An old U.S. Navy ship served one final time as it was shot and sunk in the Pacific. After the break, why the Navy says it was all done on purpose.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:55 on your Wednesday, and we're keeping a close eye on traffic here. This is a look in the downtown area near the South Split from our tower camera, where everything is traveling smoothly, as you can see by all of the headlights out that way. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout your Wednesday and let you know if there are any crashes or delays to slow you down.
A U.S. Navy ship was shot up and sunk over the weekend on purpose. Take a look at this here. This is the USS Durham, a cargo ship first commissioned more than 51 years ago. It earned 3 campaign stars for service in the Vietnam War before retiring in 1994. You can see it bobbing off the coast of Hawaii when several rounds blast into its side, sending smoke in the air. Believe it or not, in the life of a ship, this is the way to go. It is its last service, allowing crews to participate in live fire training. 22 ships, a submarine, and people from 10 different countries participated in the exercise. It is 5:56. Let's get a quick check of your forecast now with Todd.
Yeah, Nicole, we're just dealing with a few very light spotty showers still remaining here across parts of central Indiana. If you have to commute into work or the kids are heading off to school, you may have to throw the windshield wipers on very briefly for a light sprinkle or two, but that's just about it. And you can see that radar on the center of your screen, the bulk of the light shower activity now off towards the east. It's muggy this morning. There's no way around that anywhere you are across central Indiana, as temperatures are sitting in the 70s up to about 82 this afternoon with mostly cloudy skies. And throughout the day, there will be the chance of a spot shower, but we're not looking at any widespread or heavy rainfall here throughout the course of the day today.
All right, Todd, thank you. So we know children are facing some new challenges as they return to school. This can be especially hard for children with special needs. So coming up in the next half hour, what parents are doing to help with safety and ensure their kids are getting the services that they need. It is 5:57 here on your Wednesday morning. Here's a live look at the Circle City. The sun yet to come up yet, but we're keeping a close eye on everything you need to know to start your work day. Join us here at 6 a.m. We'll be right back.